Hey again, I did the part for user login and now I have list of the information in the database. I want just to see this information in the table view, and when any person will click in live I see whatever he click. So I will start this part by implement the table view. So let me just take this one down, add a send button because it should be a send, and this text should be beside the send button. Okay, they should be always in the down, and there should be table view, okay, for people to post. So make it sure it is in this way, and make sure you just give some space for some people who live down below. So yes, I think it is good now, for now at least. So now I chat, click send text, and this is the chat things. Because it's table view, so it needs table view cell. So just add the cell and let me see what we could do in this cell. So just as start point, I suppose this cell to have a color, as we said before. All of them should use, okay, maybe you didn't like this one, I used the preferred color for me, which is, no, it is same one. So I start to be lying. So here is it, background. Also for this one I would use same that color. So for the view controller I just keep it the same, just only that part. So this is my chat place. So I would start very simple thing. I just add the view, single view, and inside this view, where is it, the view, boom boom, okay, I would suppose I have this view, and very basic and straightforward, and inside this view there should be a label to show username. Hussein or whatever, this should be the username and the complete line, and under it that text that show me all the details. So text field, I like this one, always I'm starting using it a lot. So you see the username and what he is saying, okay, which sounds fine for me now. Okay, yes, now everything sounds fine. So what's more, the constraint. So first of all, this is my table view. The table view should have a constraint on this, in this way, this way, this way, and I don't care about down below, should be considered for this part. This part should have a constraint with this side, this side, this side, okay, and boom, and this one also, this one also should have a constraint between this side, and for example 3 from this side with this label. So I don't know why this one is too big, so make sure to add a constraint between them, and whatever horizontal things, so to keep them in the same place. And this view, which is this view, I have it, have to have a constraint from all sides. I don't know why I have 14, it's too much for me having all these places. Like let me say, okay, 14, let me say 10, okay, and left from this side 10 and from that side 10, which is because I don't want to create too much padding. And this one I want it to be pinned from this, and pump. This one should be moved to this one with leading and training, both of these, and this one should be pinned, same thing, from top, this. You just pin it from all the places. You could do it fixed size, or you don't need if you don't need to do that. So this is the person, what he said, and bam, name text. You could do it in any other format that you like. I just see it in this way, it'll be easy for me. So add file for that cell. So I say new, I say UI table view. So UI table view cell, and name it table view cell chat. Okay, for the chat, and bum, and say, hey, I have this table view cell, should be connected with this cell for the chat thing. So make sure go here, and connected. Bam, done. Okay, deal. Let me just connect it by a code so I could go to continue, saying, hey, this is my chat thing. Let me just remove that one. Okay, I have to go here from the top level, table view chat things. So this one has a input field, label. I name it LA user name. Okay, and this one should be LA text. LA text. Okay, and bam, two of these. Now what the second part, you now need to set these, but before to set this I have to have an object to handle this information. Okay, just CocoaPods, name it chat, whatever, and I select it as an NS object, and boom, save it. This chat object, because this chat object you believe have two things now, name and password. So I say okay, name or username, you expect the username to be a string, and expect you have another variable, that text that he posted should be also a string. You could get many information you could get the data posted, so the date post, you could get it, but I'm not interested in data post. You have to implement it if you want to. Initialize for these three things. This one and this one and that one. I told you the data post is your responsibility. The data post, I don't care about it for now. So what I need more to do, I need to say, hey, self dot username will be equal the username, then self dot text will be equal to the text, then self dot the data post will be equal to date post. I don't like it to be capital here because the variable should be small. Not should be, it's just naming convention. So date, here is it. So now I have a chat, so I could go here, save it. I could go to TV calls, and here I say, hey, I have function for set chat. Okay, should take object, name it chat, from instance class chat capital. Okay, so two things to do. The username should be whatever username I got it. So username dot text equal whatever the username in the chat object dot username. See, give me the big object, the character one. I need this one dot text, and also I need LA post. So I think I just dot text should be, this one should be the chat text, and this one should be the chat dot username. So just whatever I got it, the object got it, just pass it here, and bam, you're all set. So now just go to the view controller and say, hey, this is my code, this is my view controller. Okay, I want to have this view controller, which is I don't able to access to it with these complex things, so better thing just get it from this way. This view controller should connect it here, which is name it LA chat list. Okay, list of the chat, and bam, you're done. Now I think all the work I could do it from the view controller because everything now is ready for me to start working there. So using a view controller, using table view, you have to use UI table view delegate and UI table view. I think UI table view data source. Why he doesn't show me? Okay, UI table view data source. So let me just align these things. So I have chatting this one. So after load and everything, I say okay, I have chat dot delegate should be equal to the self, and I have chat dot data source should be equal to self. Okay, so sound great. So I have these two information. Set it up. Now to do number of component, table view, all that things, I need to list or to get list of the load the messages from the server. So let me define function here, name it func load chat room. Okay, load all the thing in the chat room. So how to load the chat room? This is an interesting thing to do. If you see in the chat room, I have a node named chat, and whenever anyone do post, okay, kids is good. There's a new child adding to this post, but did you see there is event happen in this one? So whenever you add a new thing, the node that always updated, that is this node, so I could listen on this node and get all the data from it. Whenever I have any update, I get all the data from it, and bam, I will be all set. So how to do that? First of all, let me just define variable list of chat. Take list of chat info will be instance of the chat class. It does not instance, should be array of chat class, and doesn't have anything here. So, and this one just get load the data from the Firebase. So how to do that? Okay, I have self.reference. I want to listen to the child. Which child I want to listen to? I want to listen to this child. The child that I want to listen to, it is same one that all people do post on, which is this one that never change. Okay, I want to listen to this one whenever any change happen inside it. Then I do whatever I say. Okay, I need the data will be ordered, so I say, hey, a query ordered. So query ordered by what? I define which child I want to order all the text. I want to order, like, bring the data ordered according to this data type, so I just arrange them to me. Then I say dot observe will take nothing. Take first of all the event, just say dot value, and the second parameter that take it say with, say what you want to do with it. So I say, hey, I want to do with it this thing. You say open a bracket, close it. So all your code goes between this code. So what you want to do, I expect to have from the database same thing, name it snapshot. Okay, this is the data that I expect to get from the Firebase. So I could play with this object. This is coming as a complete object. So now I want to read all the information that coming inside this object to start processing this data. So how I do that? Okay, first of all, make sure to clean the list view from the data, because maybe the chat have another information. Remove all. So first of all, remove all the object that you have in this chat list. Good. What's the second thing you have to do it? Okay, say if let the snapshot will be equal to what? To snap, which is this one, this thing, snapshot dot children. I need all the children dot all objects. So I need all the children, all objects to bring them, and I want them to be as Firebase FAR data snapshot. So just get the data as snapshot, then play with these data. So what I need to do with these data? So to do with this data, I say, hey, self, or I could pass this data now is a snapshot. So snapshot now to represent two parts. The key snapshot dot key, the key will represent all these keys inside, because I'm saying to node name a child. When I say hey child, now the snapshot represent the child. When I say snapshot dot key, that means this key. When I say snapshot dot value, that means all these value for that key, because the key have many values. So how to do process? Okay, going back here to do process for that, I'm not interested too much about the key. My interesting is about the value of it. So you would say, okay, let the value or chat data will be instance of string and any object. Why string and any object? Because you know that because I know the key is string, but I don't know what the value should be. So then this one should be whatever you have it in Snapchat as a values. So I'm just getting the value. Hopefully I could get it right. Okay, maybe I wasn't, because I need to do for loop for this. So wait a second. So first of all, you define Snapchat, then you want to get the data inside the snapshot. You say, okay, now this is snapshot. If you go here, will represent this object at the chat. So it have number of objects inside it. So I have to do for loop to move through all these objects. So do here for snap in snapshot, which is this one. Okay, I'm doing for loop around this one. So this one will have list of objects. So I say, okay, if I have value, the important part for me is this value. The list of object that I have it, every object will represent two parts. This object, I do for loop of snap. So now snap one time represent this key and have value. This key and have value, this key and have value. I'm not interested for the key, but I'm most interested in the values. So I'm saying, hey, going back here, I'm saying here, if the post data will be equal to the whatever you have in the snap.value, because I'm reading the value, but the value expected to be as string and object. Because why string and any object? Because I'm sure 100% the key is string. For now, I'm sure the value is also string, but I say any object because just to be safe, because maybe later on people want to update it. So then, bam, here you go. So now I'm getting the values. That means for every element, when he be here on this one, I don't get the key, I get this value, which represent these things. Then I get these values, represent these things. Then I get these values, represent these things. So now I could process these values one by another. So, as I told you, you could do just object string and bam, you all set. And you could do string and value, and you if you expect to have things like something else. So I do any object to avoid any error. So first of all, what I need to get, I say, hey, I need to get the post username. I say, hey, let username will be equal to whatever I have here as a key. So if I say, hey, I have the key name it username. So if I'm looking here, what's the name of the username? It is this one. So just take it and add it here. And this one need to be casted to string. I say, okay, add string. Okay. Okay, cool. So here I'm getting the name and the key and put it here as a username. What more? Let text. Okay, whatever the text you have it. Same thing. Take whatever you have it here and add it in that variable. What you have here, I have this text or this text, any one of them. Just the name, take it correct. What the third object let you have it? Okay, the last part that I want to use it is the value of the post. So if I said let post date, okay, will be equal whatever I have in the post date, which this one variable post date, whatever the value here. So the value that I have in the post date, you know about it. If you just bring it to you, it is this one, the post date. This is the value. This is the object name. Okay, if I just take this code here and I try to say, hey, this one is not string. This one should be as post date, which is I expect to have it as long integer. So I say C long. But maybe you will have a problem here with this definition, because C long maybe you don't have value for it, so it's better to say, hey, I have variable, name it C long, which is part from C long, and this one not initialize it, and you said, hey, if the post date in will be equal this one, there is have value, please initialize this post date for me. Just try to avoid any error that you may have it with the post date when you bring the value from the server. So yes, this is really what we did, and now just push these data to the to this list. So just wait a second, I have a chat Now chat getting two things, text, and he doesn't get this one. Post date, take it as a string. You could pass it, you could not. If I just take it as a string, post date, text. Okay, I got it now. So if I just go to the view controller, now I have this list is empty. Now I want to follow the data. I say, hey, post.append please with the chat thing. So in the chat you have many information to pass. Have three of these. Username, so whatever you have in the username here. The text, whatever you have the text here. The third thing is the date. I will pass it in this way, change it to string to avoid any error. You could do convert this date from the server time to other thing, but I don't have a lot of time to do that for you here. So yes, passing the information and you're done. When he done from all these loop, load all the information, just ask the table view self dot table view. Which is table view? Where is it? Did I create an instance from the table view? UI text, UI table view. Yes, UI chat list. So I say, hey, UI chat list dot reload, because I need to reload the data again when I update it with the new values. So hopefully now everything sound okay. So now whenever this method have to be called when the application gets started. So after I do login, I complete the login part from my application, which is this login. You see I success pass. Okay, after I success pass, I start using the chat room to start listening on the data and follow them and reload this LI chat list. Okay, I think we are almost done. Three things to do. First of all, I need to define how many components I want to show, or how many section. One, how many components? So number of component. The component will depend on the number of the array I have in the list of chat info dot count. And then the last one is row at cell for row at. So it should be let cell for row at should be tview cell chat will be instance of table view. Then you say dq chat with identification, give it this identification, and for that index path. And make sure you just go to the UI, and in the design UI just make sure to update the cell ID to that ID. So let me see. So this is the cell ID. You just make sure to go to the identification and give it this ID in the identification. So now everything already, save it, just go continue. So you have the cell. So I say, hey, cell dot what set. I just pass the data for the chat, whatever I have it in the list of what list of chat info for index path dot row. So just passing them, then bam, URL say should be return and you return cell chat, and you all should be all set now. 3 elements and we have no problem. One last thing I have to do, when people do chat, I need always move it to the end. Like whenever anyone posts, I did move the chat to the end, move the table view to the end. So I say, hey, define a new thing, say let index path will be equal instance of index path, which take two parameters. This one take first of thing the row we are interested, and the section. How many rows? I need to go to the last row in this element. So just go to the what, to this one dot count -1 last row. Which section? Section 0. Okay, now I have the table view and I have when I want to go. Okay, I say, hey, table view dot scroll to. So move me to what? To this index path that you define it, and in the bottom. So I say bottom in this way, and do the animation. I need a true. Yes, I need animation. So I think everything is sound cool. Maybe you say, hey, why have to write self here? Whenever you call from something listener, you have to write word self, unless you will have a problem. So for example here, if I just remove this one, you will have a problem in the login things. So you have to mention that word before it. So now hopefully now everything is cool. We don't have any problem in the things that we wanted. So DQ, this one need to be changed to as table view cell chat, and I think now everything ready for our chat room or chat application to start working fine and amazing. Here we go, just enter my name, like Jenna, for example. Launch the room. Here you go, he showed me all the text, whatever people say. If I say welcome in the room, or I say, hey, any welcome in the room, any welcome for a new user. If I just click, see, here is it. So yes, here is Jenna, here is everything, and everyone now, if you set up this application on thousands of devices, all of them could see each other and from their home, from any place. So here we done. Thank you for watching. See you next.